Welcome to another episode of Behind the Spotlight with guest Annette Helton of the original Vandelas. Uh, Hold on.
Hello,
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you.
Okay. Okay, first question. What inspired you to pursue a career in music and who were some of your early influences?
Uh, I never told nobody that I wanted to sing. I wanted to be a nurse, and I had I had a couple of girlfriends, and I don't know. It's been so long ago. My goodness, it's a long time. But I one of my girlfriends, girl that I went to school with, she there was a gentleman that worked at Motown, and he was trying to form a girls group. And one of the young ladies that I went to school with, she heard about that. She wanted to be a singer. I ain't never told nobody I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a nurse. But anyway, she found out that this gentleman was going to have like a little audition, and she wanted to go. But we were like 14, 15 years old, and her mom would let her ride downtown, and we had to take the bus down to the YWCA because that's where the gentleman was having this little so-called audition. So my mom said yes, I could ride down there with her. So we go down to the YWCA downtown Detroit, and I was sitting there, and there was a whole bunch of young ladies in there, and this gentleman was sitting there, and goodness, you think that I could remember his name right now. But anyway, it'll come to me. Um, anyway, he was sitting at the piano and he was plunking out keys on the piano, and he'd call up the different young ladies and he would tell them to give me an eye. You give him an eye, and they would. It was about 30 young ladies in there, and just. But anyway, he finished one side of the room and then he got to the young lady that I went with, and he called her up to the piano and he told her to give him an eye, and she did, and he said, give me another one, and she did. And so he said, okay, go sit down. So I was sitting next to her, so he looked at me, he said, you come up here and give me an ah, and I said, I didn't come to I'm not trying to be a singer. um I came with her. He said, that's all right, just come on up here and give me an ah. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. I was kind of shy too. So, going up in front of these other young girls, I was like, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, I went. So he plunked out a note on the piano. He said, give me a ah. And I went, ah. And he hit another one. He said, give me another ah. I went, ah. So he hit another one. He said, give me another one. Ah. He said, okay, go sit down. So I turned around and I was walking back to my seat, and I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. This is not what I intended to do. I came with her. I didn't come here to try and be no singer. So anyway, this gentleman had some connections, and we ended up forming a little group. He had picked me and her and a couple of other girls, and we had this little group, and we would go to different places, like not big places, but different places, like maybe to a school, to the gym or something, and we would kind of just get together, just doing stuff. It's been so doggone long ago. It's hard for me to remember all the
Right.
starting points. But anyway, he ended up with us forming this little group, and we would go to different places and kind of sing a little bit. One of the young ladies that we had in our group was her name was Gloria Williamson. She was older than us, but she sang like in the church, and she knew a lot of different songs and stuff. So when we would go to his house, supposedly to rehearse and stuff like that, she taught us like our notes. and we would sing different songs that was on the radio, that was popular on the radio during that time. And this was way back like in the 1960s. Okay. It was probably before you was born,
Right.
but it was like in the 1960s, and she kind of she taught us like notes and stuff, and we would just sing the different songs that was out that at that time, and we would sing different songs, and she would give us our notes and stuff like that because she knew all of that because she sang with the church choir and all. So um it got to a point where we ended up, like I said, forming this group, and we would do different things. Say, like, if somebody had a outside party, like a backyard party or something, they might invite us, and we'd go sing something at the little outside party or something. That's how we really got started. But like I said, I never wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a nurse.
Right.
But it it was interesting, and it kind of gave me something to do at 15, 16 years old, that I wasn't even thinking about because we were young. We were young then. So, but it gave us something to do, and we would do different little things. But the young lady that pretty much pulled the group together, she was sung with us for a little bit, but then she couldn't really hang that tough with us because she worked for traffic court downtown Detroit. She had a job, plus she was married, plus she had a young baby that was like 1, 2 years old. So she wasn't able to just literally get out and sing per se. So she said, I know of some young ladies who are trying to sing, and she said, I'll go and ask if one of them want to sing with you guys, you know. So she did, and this is how Martha became one of our members in the group, you know. So she came to the group and her voice fit in, and the young lady that kind of, put the group together, she, like I said, she sang at church and stuff. So she kind of knew the notes that we were supposed to be singing, and she helped us a lot with that. And Martha came in, and Martha wanted to, at the beginning, she really wanted to be like a lead singer and all, which was never and still is not. Uh, Nothing that I wanted to do. I didn't want to be no singer. But anyway, um, Martha got in the group and she became our lead singer. So she would lead different songs and stuff. She was learning all the songs on the radio and stuff. And like I said, after we got Martha and all, we got a chance to do little sock hops in different little gyms and people's little backyard parties and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff we would do. So that's how we got started.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see. Can you
So,
share your experience of joining Martha and the Vandellas? What was it like stepping into a well-known group?
well, it wasn't well known then. It was not formed then. It wasn't formed until, like I said, after I got in the group, and after our friend Gloria, after she brought Martha in the group, then that's when the group kind of got to be well known because Martha wanted to be a singer. So she kind of did everything that she could to sort of get us in that atmosphere, where we could go sing somewhere.
Right.
That's what I was applying to, replying to when I said, we would sing at different little parties, backyard parties and things like that, you know. And this was Martha's dream to do that. Myself and the other girl, we just kind of went along with the program. But Martha is the one who, that's how we ended up at Motown. Martha ended up getting a job at Motown. She was one of Motown's secretaries. She had gotten a job after she graduated from high school and all. And she had gotten a job at Motown. And she would, let Barry Gordy and them know when some of the different people had come to audition. Well, once we had started the group, I guess that sort of put in her mind that, hey, why don't I bring my group? You know, so and that's what she did. She asked could she bring her group down to Motown, and that's how we got to Motown. She told us that we were going to do an audition down there. I think we said it's been so long ago. Lord have mercy. Um, we went down there and we did like sort of like a little audition. And Barry Gordy and them, they wanted us to do like some background for some of the other groups that were there and all, you know. But anyway, I guess he kind of liked our sound, whatever, because he ended up signing us up. Well, first before he signed us up, he you know allowed us to do some background on some of the different songs. Please don't ask me because it would be a long time ago. I have to sort of remember how we did oohs and ahs on some different songs. Okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of his Marvin's songs.
Huh?
I know a lot of those songs were Marvin's.
Oh yeah. Now we started out with Marvin Gaye. We did a lot of songs with Marvin, but eventually, um, um, okay, Annette, come on, get your mind together. Eventually, we, you know, signed contracts with Motown, and we were their singers. We did do some background and stuff like that. I think our first recording was "I'll Have to Let Him Go." Do
Yes.
you remember that one?
Yes.
Well, you done looked up all of our stuff.
And then I think the B side with It Takes Two.
Probably. I done forgot a lot of them. I got them all, but they're all stored away, you know. But yeah, I think our first one was "I'll Have to Let Him Go," and that was, you know, we did that, and like I said, they would, you know, they would have us to go to different little things and different little parties and stuff like that, and that's how we would sing. Is that okay? Your phone all right?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's kind of how we got started. And after we were kind of there for a little while, um, then well, through the time, Martha became our lead singer and all. You know, she started. We weren't doing that much backup, but she got to be our lead singer. And at that particular time, we were the Delphis. Okay,
Right.
and so um, we were the Delphis actually with the other girl with Gloria and all of that. You know, so um, thinking that Barry Gordy decided after a while that he wanted to sign us to a contract, and we had to change our name because we didn't want nothing coming up with the name that we had and all. So that's how we became the Vandellas. I think Barry Gordy might have given us that name, and so we became. It surprised me too the first time we were supposed to play at one of the shows at one of the movie theaters. Every now and then they would have like a weekend show or something like that. But we were supposed to sing at one of the shows, and they had our name up on you know how the movie house, how they have name of the movie out on the outside and stuff like that.
Yes.
They had our name up there, and we had chosen the name because Barry had put us in the room and told us to come up with a name, and that's how we came up with the Vandellas. But when they put it up on that outside, that movie house and all, they put on there Martha and the Vandellas.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what? You know, and we had to like sign contracts, with Barry Gordy and with Motown and stuff like that. We signed contracts and all of that, and I was like, I told the other girl that sang with Rosalind, I was like, our contract did not say Martha and the Vandellas. It said the Vandellas, you know. But it was like, okay, ain't no need in starting no crazy stuff now, but everybody referred to her like as Martha the Vandellas, but the contract that I signed just said the Vandellas, did
Right.
not say Martha and the Vandellas. And when she saw that Martha and the Vandellas, that just gave her the, oh, it's about me. It wasn't about her totally. She did the lead singing, but she didn't do background and stuff.
Right.
Had to have somebody to help hold her up. But anyway, it ended up being a very good experience because I can't exactly remember the year that it happened. It might have been it might have been 1962 or something like that. Barry decided to have to form sort of like a world tour for
Yeah.
his singers because he had oh Lord have mercy, I should have wrote some notes for you. You're not recording me, are you? Okay, that's good. There's a call trying to come through for me. I don't want it. Um, what was I getting ready to say? Let me stop this phone. Let's see.
Was it the Motown review?
Yeah, hang up. I'm not gonna answer. But you hang up. Thank you. You still there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He formed the Motown Review, and we our first tour was through the South. So we went through all the southern states. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had a great big bus, like a big Greyhound bus, and we had to get permission, of course, from our parents and things, because I think some of us were still kind of underage a little bit. But we had gotten, okay that it was okay for us to go and all, and it was just about all the people that Barry had pretty much gotten or had formed and gotten at Motown, because it was like, um, oh goodness, I should have did some research before you called me, because you taking me back a long way. Yeah, you taking me back a long, long way. Um, it was. Let me see who was all the groups. You know all the groups, most of them.
I know the Supremes, the Marvelettes, the Miracles. I'm not sure if the Four Tops was on that tour, maybe, and I think the Temptations.
Yep, Temptations, Four Tops. Yep, Marvin Gaye was on it.
Yes, Stevie.
Uh, let me see. Was Stevie on it? He might have been. I think he might have been. God, it was so long. Like I said, it was like 1962.
Yeah.
But anyway, Barry had formed. Um, he had made places for us to go, and we did the whole South. It was very interesting because we didn't realize how prejudiced people can be in the South. Because I mean, I had some relatives and stuff that was born in the South, and they never spoke of things of that nature.
Right.
But when a whole busload of black people is going through the South, they're not very happy about that because they pretty much don't know what's going to happen or who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we did shows down there, and the shows were always great turnouts. They had black and whites. The only thing that they wouldn't really allow us to do going through the South like that, and it was a little scary, like how you travel on the road. Is
Yes.
that your phone?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, it's good. I thought it went out a little bit, but you're fine.
Oh, okay. Um, let's see, where was I? We would travel, and we would a whole bus full of black people, okay, and we were traveling through the South. We had a white bus driver. We didn't realize why we had a white bus driver for many years, but anyway, we had one, and but there were places on the road that we couldn't go. he'd have to go into different restaurants and stuff and get food and stuff for us and bring it back to the bus so that we could eat something while we were in, in that line of traveling. And there were places that had, have you've done some traveling, right, from
Yeah,
state to state? Well, you know how there's places where you can go and grab something to eat or something like
right.
that, and then
Yeah,
there's a bathroom in there. You can go to the bathroom. They didn't even want us to use the bathroom. It was really weird. I mean, it was something new for us because none of us had gone through any of that kind of stuff, so it was really very different for us, and at the same time it was scary because we were young, we were still young people. A lot of that had not come before us, but we had a white bus driver, and he would go into different little restaurant places on the road, and he would get food for us and bring food back to the bus so that we could have something to eat. And it was very weird because they had the little places. I can't think. I haven't traveled in so long until I can't think of the name of the places, but they have where you could go and get food and snacks and stuff like that, and then they have
yeah.
bathrooms that you could use. Well, they didn't even want us to use the bathrooms. We had to get off the bus. The bus driver he would find a bushy area, and he would let all the females get off the bus, and we'd make a circle, and that's how we had to try to go to the bathroom. Then the females would get back on the bus. Then the guys would get off, and then they go to the bathroom. I'd be like, that is the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. I've never seen nothing like that. I mean, because even when I was home and all that, as a younger person, my dad used to take us on little trips, but it wasn't too bad. We'd go like to Cleveland or something like that, and it wasn't bad, and everything was fine, but that was definitely an eye opener for all of us because we had never experienced anything like that, but we got through it. We wherever we performed and all of that, it was good. The people loved it. We had all kind of audiences and all of that stuff. But some of the songs that we were singing and all, we'd have them all up on their feet, and they was having a good time. The people was having a great time. So it was quite an experience. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The more I got into it, the more I enjoyed it. So
But it's crazy though, like how the people in the South they didn't care for the black people, but when they heard the music, it brought everybody together.
right, it did. Yep, it did. Because we had a lot of and it was weird too for us being from the north. It was weird for us because we would be playing these big theaters and stuff, and on one side they have blacks, and on the other side they have whites. I'd be like, first time I walked out on the stage and I saw that, I was like, what? And it was funny because once the music started, the band started
Yeah,
playing and the group started singing and all, the blacks and whites was mixing in the aisle, dancing with each other.
right.
Oh, everybody wanted to get up and shake their booty and all that kind of stuff. They was doing it in the aisles, but then nobody at that particular time cared whether they was white or black or whatever. They was just having fun. It was weird. It was weird, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a great experience for me, and I loved it.
Yeah. Dancing in the Street is one of your most famous songs. What do you remember about the recording process for that track?
Um, I don't think I was on Dancing in the Street. I'm trying to think. Um, I know I was on Come and Get These Memories. I was on all the first ones. I think Dancing in the Street came out a little after me.
Okay.
it
So it might be Betty on that then.
might, yeah, I think she might have been. What year did that one come out?
Ooh. Was it 65, 66? I think?
Yeah, I think by then I might have been out. I think I had gotten out of the group. I forgot exactly.
Let
I forgot exactly what.
me.
I
Dancing
was
in
on like,
Dancing in the Street came out in July '64.
okay, I might have stepped out a little bit before that. Let me see. I was trying to look at my book and see if I saw that. Because I was on the other ones. I was on Come and Get These Memories, um,
Heat Wave.
Heat Wave, um, a lot. I think A Love Like Yours, Don't Come Knocking, Live Wire. Um, what else did I say? Um, yeah, I was on quite a few.
How did the songwriting and arrangement process typically work for the group? Did you have a say in the music you performed?
We probably would have had a say, but I mean, I was fine with what I was doing. I mean, it was all new to me. Cause like I said, I ain't never told nobody I wanted to be no singer. Never, never, never. Like I said, I went to audition with, I mean, I went to watch an audition with, you know, I think it was with Martha and with the other girl. We just went to audition, and I ended up being in the group.
What was it like performing live during the height of the Motown era? Do you have any memorable concert experiences?
Oh, you got this all planned, didn't you? Tell by your questions. Where you get your questions from?
Uh,
Somebody done wrote your questions out for you. What did you ask me now?
what was it like performing live during the height of the Motown era? Do you have any memorable concert experiences?
Um, well, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun. It was always fun. The audiences, whether they were black or white or mixed or whatever, they were always receptive of us. They would just be hanging on and all. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of it.
What are some of the challenges you faced as a female artist in the music industry during the 60s?
Um, what is some of the what? Say that again.
The challenges you faced.
Um, I don't. Well, I'm not exactly. I don't. I don't. I'd have to pull some of those out of my head or something. Um, there were shows that we did, of course, with other artists, other female artists and stuff like that. But I mean, if that's what you want to consider the challenge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because even, when we went out on the Motown reviews and all, I mean, we were dealing with the Marvelettes, um, the other
Supreme,
girl group,
the Supremes.
the Supremes and all of that. So I guess if you speak in terms of our challenge, we just wanted to do our show better than everybody else,
Right.
you know.
How do you think Martha and the Vandellas have influenced modern music, and what do you hope your legacy will be?
Well, how did we impact modern music?
Yes.
Well, I think our music probably impact modern music to the degree where our music was like dancing music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think if it's sort of on that level, people today they like music that make them dance, where they want to go out dancing and popping their fingers and stuff like that. So I think that might have been an influence. Supreme's music was a little bit, they were a little bit more cooler, just kind of cutesy dancing and stuff
Right.
like that. But we actually kind of had little steps and stuff that we would do, and the music was a little bit more bouncy bouncy, and so yeah,
And
I
I
think
think
we sort of.
and I think Vandella's choreography and Marvelette's choreography was a little more complicated than the Supremes.
Yes, it was. The Supremes had that sort of. cutesy. They were sort of cutesy. Where us and the Marvelettes, we was just down to earth. We just shake the booty and whatever else we needed to. But it all got over because there were people who liked the the proper way to move your arms and all of that, and then there was some that just liked for you to just shake and get down. you know.
Looking back at your career, what are some of your proudest moments with the group?
Um, hmm, Proudest moments. Um, oh, you asking me stuff off the top of my head. Lord have mercy. Oh, there were some. I just need to pull them to the forefront. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness.
Through the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yes, yes, that was definitely one. We are members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
And yeah, that was an honor right there, you know. And I don't know, there's so many. I mean, there's some until I can't pull all this stuff up right now. If you'd have sent me these questions on a page, I could look up all this stuff.
Yeah. The fans want to try to get the Vandellas a star since Martha has one. Uh,
You know, and we keep telling everybody, people have asked us about that, and we said we're gonna get one. Yeah, it would be nice if fans would have that done. Would suggest that the Vandellas get them a star. That would be wonderful.
Are you currently working on any new music or projects? What can fans expect for you in the future?
As far as the group is concerned,
Yes, or in
Mm.
general.
no, no. Where are you getting these questions from? Somebody to help you
Nah, I
with
had
this.
to think about some.
You thought of all them questions?
Yes,
Did you really?
yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, you're doing wonderful with your questions, but no, you just asked if I was, you know, thinking in terms of going back singing and stuff like
Yes,
that. No, I'm really not,
yeah,
you know, but I mean, I loved it. I loved, um, you know, I enjoyed it very much. And I loved it too because, at our age, it gave us a chance to travel,
right,
which was something that our parents would not have been able to afford for us to do at the ages that we were, being young. Now, once we got to be of age, 18, 19, 20, 21, we could travel by ourselves and all, go wherever we want to go at that time because we're grown. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it. I really did.
right.
My mother was so funny uh, when I would come home and stuff like that. And she would tell me, I'd have at home chores that I had to do,
Right.
and like maybe once a month or something like that. My mother, you know what the woodwork is on the floor,
Yes,
that that thing that go around the living room and stuff like that.
yes,
Well, and my mother would, when I come home, I'd still have my week because I had a couple sisters, and I had my week when I had to wash the dishes and clean the bathroom and stuff like that, and maybe do the woodwork because I had two sisters. I didn't have any brothers, but my mother used to tell me, "I don't care nothing about you being one of them Vandellas. You got work to do." So
yeah.
she didn't care. She didn't care. I mean, I had to, if I was home, then I had to do my chore. I had to do chores like my sisters did. I was home. She said, "I don't care nothing about you being one of them Vandellas." It was so funny when she would say that. She said, "It's your week to wash dishes." I go, "Okay." I didn't fight her on it.
Right.
I mean, it was okay. Hello there. How are you? Good. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And you're fine.
So that's how that went. So, my mother she kept me well grounded.
Right.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to young artists who aspire to make a name for themselves in the music industry today?
What? Say that again.
What advice would you give to young artists who aspire to make a name for themselves in the music industry today?
Well, I think I would probably tell them, if that's what they want to do, then try it. But, don't jump into something unless you really know what you're getting yourself into. Don't just jump into something unknowing to you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Because, it, you can get in the music industry and stuff like that, and it might allow traveling and things of that nature, which would be great. But you want to have yourself covered.
Right.
You don't want to be signing stuff and don't know what the heck you signing. If you got to get a lawyer to check out what you signing and all of that, do that. You know.
You
So
you
I would.
reunited with Ian Levine. What was that like when he reunited the group together?
Oh Lord, how long ago was that?
Ooh, was that the 80s or 90s? I think that was
I'm.
around Step in My Shoes.
Oh, that had to be a long time ago. But I I have no idea what to tell you. Yeah.
You recorded Vandella's dance. What was that like?
Oh, that was with one of the. Let me see who was on it. Who wrote that for us? Vandella Dance. I remember that. Um, it was different. I think that was one of the. Let me see who was that. What was he a miracle? I don't think he was a miracle. I'm trying to think of who he sang with. Did they give his name? I remember doing that. I enjoyed doing it. I forgot his name though. That's a shame. I don't forgot the guy's name.
It,
That
was
was
it was it Paul Stewart?
no, I don't think his name Paul Stewart.
Yes, it went in the UK.
No,
Okay.
the one that wrote Vandellas Dance was who did he sing with? Doggone it. He sang with one of the groups and he came out with it. But I enjoyed it. I don't know if it ever hit anything or nothing like that, but I remember singing it and I remember him teaching it to us and everything. I don't know if we ever sung it on stage or nothing, but I enjoyed it. And the guy is a very nice guy. I see his face. I just can't. I got to bring his name up. I got.
Yeah, because it says it came out in 2023, but it don't say who wrote it.
Um, I have to find it. 2023. I have to write that down. Let me definitely look that up. 2023 Vandella Dance.
Yes.
Oh God, I see his face and I can't remember who he is. And I just saw him. I didn't see him. I saw him on something, not an advertisement, but something in a magazine or something. I was looking. Oh Lord, I cannot remember the guy's name. If I get it, I'll have to send it to you or something.
Did you have any regrets leaving the group?
Um, I don't think I really had any regrets leaving the group. It was just, I mean, I had just grown up. It was just time for me to kind of make some changes in my life.
Right.
Kind of settle down somewhat because I was getting older,
Right.
and I think I had gotten married by then. So it was just time for me to settle down a little bit.
Right. Before we wrap, would you like to add anything else?
Um, well, I enjoyed my time in the group very much, and I definitely enjoyed the traveling because, like I told you before, that would have been something that my parents would not have been able. We traveled a little bit, but um, I've been all over the world with my singing, and that was quite an honor for me, you know. And no, I enjoyed every minute of it. I really did, and I enjoyed the people that I met, and no, I enjoyed it very much. And I'm glad to be a Vandella. Yep.
Yes. Would you ever work with Diana if she asked?
Not to be a supreme, but I mean, if she wanted us to do a show with her, if she wanted me to pull Rosalind or something like that and to do a show with her or so, but no, I would not be a supreme. No, I'm a Vandella. And we got along good with the Supremes, but I'm a Vandella. I wouldn't know.
Right.
I wouldn't want to do that. I want people to remember me as being a Vandella.
Yes. Yes, just like how Gladys was a Marvelette. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah. No, I enjoyed being a Vandella very much.
Yeah.
And people still, I ask people today, like, you remember the Vandellas? And they be like, yeah.
Because I know I see a lot of fans always saying they want a reunion with Martha, but who knows? It probably would never happen. Who knows?
What kind of fans say they want, what kind of reunion they want with Martha?
Well, with the original group. Or maybe with you, Rosalind, and Betty.
Well, Betty wasn't with us when the group was together. It was just Martha, me, and Rosalind.
Right.
Betty took my place.
Yes. Yeah. But oh,
Yeah.
we don't know how that would be since she's singing with her sisters now.
Who sang with their sisters?
Martha.
Oh, I don't think she's doing that much right now, is she?
Right. No, I don't think she's been performing as much.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Well, I haven't heard anything. I don't really know what she's doing, but it's fine. I mean, and as far as me regrouping with the group and singing on a full-time basis, that won't never be.
Right.
You know, I might do something every now and then, but no, I have no desire to do that. I'm getting too old for that.
Right.
You know how old I'm gonna be this year?
Yeah. Wait, is it 81?
80, 82.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be 82 July the 4th.
Yeah, and I'll be 25 this year.
Oh wow, a big 25. Whoa,
Yeah.
lucky you. 25. When's your birthday?
July 26th.
Oh, you are July baby too, huh?
Yes.
Let me write that down. July what?
26.
July 26th. Oh, your birthday July 26th, and you gonna be 25?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Well, guess we can wrap up now, if that's all.
Okay. Well, if you have any more questions, text me or something,
Okay,
okay?
okay, sounds good.
All righty. I hope I gave you some good answers.
Yes, you're good.
All righty then. Talk
Okay,
to you later.
okay, toxic.
All righty.